Welcome back and Merry Christmas. To get up, time to take a look at the Santa Tracker 2025 with my man, Chef Saturday. Let's start things off in Santa Clara. By the way, why are we starting off Santa Clara? Why should we be starting east and then going west?
Well, yeah, but don't confuse common sense and Santa's delivering presents.
By the way, what did Santa leave under the tree for those Niners?
Pass rushing for the Niners. Listen, they're one of the worst in creating pass rush. Robert Saleh has his work cut out for him on this run. These next two games, one against Chicago, one against the Seahawks, and then going all the way through the playoffs. Because if they win them both, y'all, they stay at home all the way through the Super Bowl. That's a big game. Pass rush this week against Chicago and Caleb Williams.
Okay, so now we're going to travel to Chicago. What did Santa leave for the Bears under the tree?
I forgot what I said about the Bears. What did we say about the Bears? What did we leave them? We left.
How about more turnovers?
Yes.
We left. You got to turn that football over.
They had to open the presents. Turnovers for them. More turnovers. Look, this team has been fantastic on defense. Very opportunistic, making plays, making things happen. Santa left them more of the good gifts of turnovers on defense. Again, Ben Johnson's got this run game kicking. Caleb Williams is coming along, made two of the best throws. They get turnovers. This is going to be a tough out come playoff time.
Okay, so last one. What about Santa? What did he leave for those Buffalo Bills?
Oh, good run defense. If you're talking about the Buffalo, they can run that rock. They punish people. But their run defense is almost last in the league. When you think about playoff runs, you think about two things: running the football and stopping the run. Right now, they do one exceptionally well. They do the other one very poorly. Santa had to leave them a good run defense for a massive playoff run for Josh Allen and that offense.
Okay, so this is a big game here for Josh Allen and the Bills taking on the Eagles. What's the latest, by the way, Adam?
Oh, he's back at practice, limited yesterday. Sounds like he's going to be okay to play. Don't know that he's at full strength, but Josh Allen at this time of the year is not sitting down and not playing, even with the foot injury. Look, he came back into that game on Sunday. They checked him out at halftime. I'm sure the foot is not right. We don't know exactly what's wrong with it, but it's not enough to prevent him from playing on Sunday as this team tries to put away its playoff spot.
So, Mike T, from an Eagles perspective, how do you stop, especially their defensive front, stop Josh Allen and their running game? Because James Cook has been cooking.
Ooh. Yeah, and that's it, Brian. They have flipped the script. Buffalo's a running team. You look at where they are, 5.1 yards per rush, second in the league, and they're only throwing at 214 passing yards per game. So what Philadelphia is going to do, presumably, is become bigger in the front seven, three linebackers, and to put Cooper DeJean at safety. Look at him here. He's outstanding tackling in space. So if I'm Philadelphia and Vic Fangio, I am taking away this run game of, as you mentioned, James Cook and Josh Allen. I'm going with Zach Bond. I'm going with Jaheed Campbell and Jacoby Dean, and then I'm putting DeJean at safety. And to me, that gets bigger and puts better tacklers on the field. And then if Buffalo's going to win, guys, they're going to have to do it throwing it.
Yeah, I think anytime you get into these kind of matchups, this potential Super Bowl matchup, right? Like you're talking about two teams that are going to be in the playoffs, they can go make this thing happen. You start to look at what are their deficiencies. And if you can make the Bills beat you with their receiving core, that's the direction you want to head. So to your point, Fangio's been looking at the Patriots and going, hey, whatever we got to do at the line of scrimmage, we're going to stack that thing up, and we're going to make Josh Allen roll to his left. He's not rolling to his right. He's going to roll left, and he's going to beat us doing the things he does worse with that receiving core that they're not threatened by. That's going to be the bottom line. But every team's got warts, B. Every team's got warts. It's going to be a great matchup to watch for this.
And Buffalo's biggest wart has been the rush defense, because I want you, and as you say, Santa's going to. The president is giving them a rush defense. I want you to take a look at here something, folks. Saquon Barkley is starting to cook and rounding out to his form here, averaging 111 rushing yards over the last 3 games. This is a big test. Can he take advantage of that Bills defense that's been terrible against them? They are 30th in the league. They allow 150 yards per game. So do you think Buffalo's run defense can slow him down?
I don't. Just from the proof of it. Listen, they've had 4 rushers go for over 100. 5 rushers go for under 100. 4 over 140. That's individual. That's not tandem. And now you're talking about Saquon Barkley, where their offensive line is starting to figure it out. And, oh, by the way, in this run game now, you've seen what the Eagles are doing. They're going empty with Jalen Hurts running the ball. So now you're going to get a light box with Jalen Hurts, who's built like a running back and a massive human being and has good eyes and good vision. This thing could be a fun game plan for Patullo and the Eagles if they can figure out the matchups on that Buffalo defense. But Saquon Barkley and the Eagles offensive line have started to find their form. And by the way, the commitment to the run has totally changed the last couple weeks. That's their formula for winning. Don't fall in love with all the pundits like Mike T talking about go throw it around the yard. Run that rock and win in the fourth quarter. Nick, don't listen to Mike T. He gets everybody fired. He gets everybody fired and then tries to get them rehired somewhere else. That's his business.
All right. Jeff needs to take some copious notes here, Brian. This game script's going to be a lot like the Buffalo-New England game. It's going to be very high scoring. I like Buffalo at home. I think whoever has it last wins, and I like Josh Allen in December in Buffalo.
Wow.
How about that?
Okay.
Yeah, write that down.
I'm going to write it down. So you don't believe in Jalen Hurts is what you're telling me. I'm not putting words on it.
It's really going out on a limb to pick Josh Allen at home.
He's a risk taker. That's what we've always talked about. Bold.
By the way,
prediction.
Let's pivot.
It was December 24th at ESPN After Dark with an NFL schedule that everybody should hark. 3 duels to get into that the fan bases fear as division rivals square up to see who's top tier. The Christmas festivities will begin in D.C., where the Commanders meet up with Dak, George, and CD. Those Lions, they're desperate for a holiday dub because Jay Jetta's gritty might mean a postseason snub. With no Mahomes, but a Swiftie, the Chiefs will still battle in hopes of making the cage of one Bo Nix rattle. A triple header for all, and for all a good time. For a preview in full, here's the crew of NFL Live.
It's a festive time to talk about the NFL. Jeremy Fowler, Mina Kimes, Marcus Spears here. And Jeremy, we will start with you. Cowboys and Commanders kicking off the Christmas Day NFL slate. Both of these teams have been eliminated from the playoffs. So what changes could be coming in the future?
Yeah, Laura, I'm watching the coaching staffs of Dallas and Washington. I believe that Dan Quinn and Brian Schottenheimer are both safe. That's the early signs that I'm getting right now that they won't be part of the carousel. But there could be changes, particularly to the defensive staff. These are 2 of the worst defenses in the NFL. You combine that with backup quarterbacks like Josh Johnson playing for Washington. It's going to be a rough go. But certainly Joe Witt, the defensive coordinator, his question, his future could be in limbo there, depending on what Dan Quinn wants to do. But he's been running the defense, and then Matt Eberflus on the other side. This is a team that could have been easily in the playoffs if they just had a passable defense, struggling, giving up 30-plus points most weeks. So could be some changes with those staffs.
Okay, something to keep an eye on there for sure. Let's go to the Lions and the Vikings. 4:30 on Christmas Day. News on J.J. McCarthy has a hairline fracture in his hand, and he's out. So Max Brosmer will start in this one. Marcus, what do you want to see from Detroit as they hang on to their playoff hopes?
Yeah, the bounce back after the Pittsburgh game. Obviously, it was a game that they thought they should have won at home. The run game was not able to get going, so I'm sure that Dan Campbell and his staff will have a lot of emphasis on getting Jahmyr Gibbs going for sure. They wanted to be explosive, and then the way the game ended for the Detroit Lions, still having a potential opportunity to win the game. So finishing these games out and making sure that you set yourself up as best as possible to have a chance to get into the playoffs. I'll be fully focused on Detroit.
Yeah, the nightcap, Broncos, Chiefs. Mina, the Broncos coming off that loss to the Jaguars. What's something you have your eye on for Denver?
Yeah, this game does matter for Denver. They're still fighting for the 1 seed. Obviously lost a bit of luster without Patrick Mahomes at quarterback for Kansas City, but the Chiefs would still love to play spoiler. So I'm watching this Denver Broncos offense, which came back to earth a bit against Jacksonville, and looking to see, one, Bo Nix, if he can continue throwing downfield the way he did during the game to some extent, but prior as well. And then I want to see if they can be better in short yardage. Part of the reason that the Broncos struggled against Jacksonville is they just could not convert on 3rd and short. That has to change in the post.